So one in District 47 and one in District 96. I am the education chair for District 96 for this year's annual conference. And our conference is April 22nd to 24th. So I'll send the link in the chat if anyone wants to take part. And I'm also an area director as well. Back to you.
Great. Thank you, Luzana. We also have Daphne. Daphne, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Hello, I'm Daphne, president of MNI Speakers Club. I just happened to see this in the chat because it's 9:30 here and I was just gonna get ready for bed. But I thought, let me jump in and visit.
Thank you, Daphne.
Okay. So
Daphne,
because it's night here, I won't be turning on my camera.
no problem, that's fine. Daphne is today joining from Montserrat. Umar.
Yes, Montserrat in the Caribbean.
Umar, quick introduction about you.
Yes, Toastmaster Raghu, how are you?
Good, always.
It is I'm good, fantastic, awesome, amazing, marvelous. And it's great to be in this meeting. I am Toastmaster Umar Farooq Awan. Actually, I am from Punjab, Pakistan, living in Saudi Arabia, but attending meeting in India, I believe, or something. I'm not sure which country it is, but that is what globalization is all about, and world of virtual world. So I am an Area 31 director in District 79, Saudi Arabia, and immediate past president of Horizon Toastmasters Club, internal auditor by profession and Toastmaster by passion. Great to be here, Raghu.
Thank you very much, Umar. My nickname for Umar has always been Saint Narad, the way that he goes around the world. Thank you. Thank you very much. So deep diving into the yes, the travelers, but just that we have different parts of the world would travel together. Thanks. Deep diving into the topic of the day. Why do you need to be realistic? Think of this scenario. Can you really take everything that you get in your life positively? Can you? It's not possible without mental situations. Second thing is, if you start taking everything in positive way, somebody slapping you, somebody just backstabbing you, or somebody is doing any wrong thing to you, can you always take it positively? And if you are taking it positively, does it really help you? Let me come up with a topic, or rather a story. We had one of our relatives who we thought will help him to get better in his life. He got him everything that is necessary for him to get a job and get everything. Then in the end, he was the one who was backstabbing us and did so many other things. And we kept taking it positive. Positivity, optimism. It did work. In the end, we had to be realistic to kick him out of our lives. On the other hand, the situation of pessimism, where we see everything as wrong. Oh, she's not looking at me. She's not talking to me. It means that she doesn't like me. She doesn't want me in office or something, blah, blah. We keep thinking that. It's natural for us to have that instinct. But then I've noticed that while I am making the judgments, it is not that way every time. I had to take my realistic way and then talk to them, break their ice. And I noticed that all my thinking or negative thinking was just useless. In life, you have to be realistic and think what you can do to lead your life better. So balance both optimism and pessimism. And I'm sure you will make things better in life when you do that. Let's talk more, but let's start our meetings today. Before I call the speakers, let me introduce the role bearers today. So as grammarian is just in the thin air, in realism, we have only one role player, which is timer. Aishi, do you want to quickly introduce yourself as a timer today?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all. I am the timer for today's meeting. And as the timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. Like for table topics, the time limit is 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. For the prepared speeches, the time limit should be 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6, I'll raise the yellow card. At 7, I'll raise the red card. And the evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As most of us are Toastmasters, I'd like to just reiterate. The meeting is in 3 sections, which is our prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, and food for thought, which is another other than the evaluation. It is breakfast for us in this part of the world. It is supper for other part of the world. So let me start the speaker section. Now, our first speaker today is Tejas Rajputana. He will be evaluated by Naveen Srinivasan. Naveen, can quickly introduce the speaker with speech titles and also invite him to speak.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghu, and a very good morning, afternoon, evening, all. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with that very first step, and a journey to becoming a great Toastmaster and a public speaker starts with that very first speech. So the speaker today is giving the very first speech, which is the icebreaker, and the evaluation criteria is this. The purpose of this particular project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. Wishing the speaker all the very best, and a note to the timer, the timing is between 4 to 6 minutes. Introducing the speaker for today, Toastmaster Tejas. The ladder is in front of you. The ladder is in front of you, Toastmaster Tejas.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen. Can I just once see the timer?
Just give me a second.
You can pin Aishi.
Okay. Will you be spotlighting both me and her?
I can do that. I can do that.
Okay.
Does it help?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, the timer, you can start the time now.
Okay, can you just show me the flashcards once, like, to confirm that I can see them? Perfect.
So you can start this.
Okay. Oh, Allu, you dark-skinned person. Man, how do your parents find you at night? Apply some Fair and Lovely on your skin, huh? It will be easier for them to find you. You can even come to play with us in the evening. See, after 5 p.m., we can't see you when we are playing football. So it becomes difficult for us. Man, apply some Fair and Lovely. It'll be great for us. This was my childhood. Until 14 years of age, I received very little in the way of encouragement. Until one day in 9th standard, my crush, Ankita, comes up to me and tells me, Tejas, you've got great biceps. They look nice. In fact, you know what? If you train a little more, you can have a very great physique. That's when I heard, Tejas, there's a ladder and you can climb it. Guess what? I started doing pull-ups every day. I soon started going to the gym. I did multiple fitness certifications and became a fitness coach myself. I just needed to hear it once. There's a ladder and you can climb it. Now, I joined the academy. I started learning. I started reading. I'm engrossed in science, exercise science, nutrition, biomechanics, and I'm learning a lot. Soon I pass out of the academy, scoring 97%, the topper of our batch. I'm feeling great. I'm helping the people around. In fact, let me tell you about one of my clients, Achint. He was the football player of the Maharashtra team. And I saw him do bent over rows. Okay, this is what the exercise looks like. He was performing it like this with a weight. Now the thing is, gravity acts downwards. So if you pull the weight against gravity, it will be a better idea rather than doing the exercise like this. And when I explained him this concept, his eyes lit up. And mind you, this is a commerce student who hates science. And he was interested. And I started explaining it to him. You see, even in the bench press, you are acting against gravity. And then I asked him a question. What do you think happens in a bicep curl? While you're curling the weight, do you think there's any difficulty at the top? And he's like, no, because gravity is acting downwards and it is going straight through our arm. Whereas in this position, our bicep will be working. And I told Kashish, man, you can understand science. Keep learning, keep learning. Guess what? Achint heard it too. There's a ladder. You can climb it. He enrolled for his bachelor's in exercise science, all the way in Australia in Deakin University. He left his sports management degree here. He went there. Meanwhile, I'm getting stronger in the gym as well. I meet the Asian powerlifting gold medalist, Vinita Ranganathan. She tells me that, Tejas, how is your strength going? I tell her, ma'am, I can deadlift 140 kgs and I can bench 100 kgs. She's like, really? At 16 years of age, you can bench 100 kgs? I don't think so. She told me, come to my studio and show me. I went to her studio and I benched 105 kgs. And she is impressed. She's like, Tejas, at this rate, you can very easily win the Asian Cup as well. Now I'm thinking, really? Again, I heard it. There's a ladder and you can climb it. 3 years later, I win nationals. And today, I'm the national powerlifting gold medalist. You see, just a little encouragement. After this, I try to pursue my education further. I want to learn what is the human body and how can we optimize the human body for health and fitness. I understand it at the biochemical level when I do my bachelor's in biochemistry, and I understand how nutrition applies to the human body when I do my master's in dietetics. Now, in these two cases, I learn a lot about what happens when someone has diabetes and how you can help them. What happens when someone has got hypothyroidism and how you can help them. But I wanted to know, if someone is already good, how do you take them up to the next level? That's when I enrolled for my master's in sports nutrition. Now, you might think sports nutrition is for athletes, but even you and I are an athlete. Situations come to us and we need to react and we need to give it back to the situation. We need to think on our feet. We need our mind and we need our physique. That's when I started thinking like an athlete. I enrolled for the Masters in Sports Nutrition and I kept learning how do we optimize human performance. Meanwhile, remember my client Achint? He's graduated from the Bachelor's in Exercise Science program. He's climbed the ladder. I'm really proud of him. And soon he's going to start his Master's in Exercise Science. You see, over the past 7 years, I've learned a lot about exercise, biomechanics, nutrition. And now at the Rajputran Academy, I teach everything that I've taught over the past 7 years to my students. I don't just deliver information. I also encourage them a little. I've been teaching master students research methodology. I've been teaching fitness professionals like coaches, physiotherapists, doctors, what is exercise and how you can help your clients better. But along with this information, there's one key. I tell my students that there's a ladder and you can. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Tejas. Our second speaker today is DTM Adika, joining from Kazakhstan, and her speech evaluator is Toastmaster Kalpana. Kalpana, can you introduce the speaker and also give speech objectives?
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. Today, Toastmaster Yedikar is going to attempt her project from Leadership Development Pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop and practice a personal strategy for building network, and also to share some aspects of his or her personal experience. The speech title is My Lessons of Entrepreneurship. Timer, please note the timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Yedikar. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Adika. I'm going to spotlight you. And I'm also going to spotlight.
Thank you.
Timer. Can you see the timer cards?
Yes, I can
Adika?
see the timer. Thank you.
Good? Okay.
We
All the best.
always learn. Thank
Your
you.
voice is low. Adika can't hear you.
Is it better now?
No.
Is it better? Is
Can't
it better
hear.
now?
Yes, you can
You
get. Go ahead.
Thank you. We always learn from our lessons in life. And today, in this club, I would like to present my life experience as an entrepreneur. The first lesson I've learned is that it's never too early or it's never too late to become an entrepreneur if you decide to do so. My first experience was when I was just 10. And of course, my mom helped me because she helped me to buy a full pack of 100 pencils and 2 or 3 packs of chewing gums to sell me at school among my classmates and friends. That was an exciting experience. Why? Because it was exactly the right time to do the things. It was back in 1987 in Soviet Union area where everything was so scarce, elusive, and deficit. All those things became so much popular among my friends that even I also became popular. That experience helped me not only to do simple calculus, but also build the networking. Some of my friends, after some time, seeing how successful I was, started coming to me and asking, please give me 5 pence. I want to resell them to other yards. children. So I started dealing and my networking became much bigger. The second lesson comes to me a bit later in life. From the second lesson, I've learned personally that a very good establishment of sharing the responsibilities can make your business very successful. A little bit of story of that experience. For me, that is the biggest experience as an entrepreneur. It happened after the university graduation time at age about 22, still very young. One day, one of my friends came up to me, who I had known for 2 years by that time. His name is Almas, and he told me, "Hey, Yadkar, let's do business." And I asked him, "What business do you want to run?" He said, "We can do an English language course." And I told him, "Hey, Almas, there are so many clubs in Almaty of English language. How will we survive? How we will be successful?" He said, wait. I have a great idea. That's going to be an English language course for corporate clients, for companies." So the business started, and there was another third partner introduced into the business by Almas, who was also his ex-classmate and friend. We three could very quickly agree on who does what, on sharing the responsibilities, writing down points, and it happened so that the things we were responsible for, we were doing really, really well. I personally was responsible for finding English teachers, dealing with them, supporting them, supplying them with teaching materials, creating a database, and sending them to our clients. Unfortunately, the business didn't last long. It lasted only for 8 or 9 months, but we were very successful. So my lesson was, again, that sharing right responsibilities with the right partner can make your business highly successful. And my third lesson is about what is important to see in your partner. This happened about 3 years ago, before the COVID times. There was one young lady who is also my far away relative. And I got to know that she started running a private business. And I decided to talk to her. First of all, I told her that I'm very, very interested in becoming a partner in her small starting business. And she agreed. So I said that I have some experience of entrepreneurship and we can share responsibilities, so the business would eventually grow if she has a partner. Yes, that was a good idea. That was a good decision, and for both of us, and that was a right thing to do for a business. However, a bit later, we realized that energetically, we are very different people. She is about 10 years younger than me, but the way she thinks was much slower than the way I think usually. So later, in about next 3 months, we found out that there are a lot of things we cannot go with just because we are different people, just because it's very difficult to come to common agreements because the way of thinking was so much different. And as the famous motivator, international motivator, John Coho says, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, but it matters how many times you get up again. I believe and I hope that in near future, I will become an entrepreneur. I will be able to find a matching partner for business, and I will be able to become a successful business lady. Thank you. Back
Thank
to
you very
you.
much, Radhika. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Today we got to hear two great speeches. One by which Tejas talked about the ladder are the something that inspires us in our life, how we can grow, while Adhika talked about how we need to maintain positivity or the optimism in every way, and then reaching the other heights in the entrepreneurship. Thank you very much for those great speeches. Now it's time to go for impromptu speeches, which is to develop our ability of critical thinking and to speak on the spot. And for that, we have our presiding officer and also our president of the club, Toastmaster Neha. Neha, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Raghu. We had two very interesting speeches. Well done. Now I would like to start with the table topics for today. So our theme for today is optimism, pessimism, and realism. So I'll try to, center my topics around those. So who would like to volunteer? Any hands? Okay, I'll randomly pick one person. How about Kalpana?
Yeah.
Okay, Kalpana, the topic for you is, in your opinion, what separates winners from the rest? Kalpana.
I think winner is the one who tries until they succeed. The only difference between winner and other should be the way they want to reach to their goal. They plan for it, they work for it, and dream for it, and eventually they successfully land in winning up the place. Now, winning can be different from person to person. For someone who is newly married, winning is to cook for their family, and a delicious meal would be their winning item. For someone who is passionate to work, job, and impressing their boss could be a winning item. And for someone just to take care of family and home as a homemaker would be a winning item. All it needs is a determination, planning, and hard work in successfully achieving the steps. And yes, if we are not able to reach there by plan A, I believe that we have 27 alphabets and we can always go for it. And even if we are not able to make within the set alphabets, then I will follow the Excel where it has path for A1, A2, or AA, AB, and all. So for me, winner is the one who is interested to try, plan, and work out. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Over to you.
Thanks, Kalpana, for the wonderful speech. Who would like to go next? Raghu? Okay.
Rather, you can try out guess what, then they can take it up. We have Luzena, Umar.
Yeah, sure. How about Umar?
Okay, let me try in a sleepy mode. Just kidding. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to give you a hypothetical scenario.
Oh,
Suppose you are leading a team and they are all optimists. Do you think it's an ideal situation, or can you think of some drawbacks?
okay. So that is a very interesting question. I have always been a realist. And see, where you said you are being realist, it doesn't mean you have to be pessimistic, or but you have to assess the situation as it is on the face value. So I always say that hope can be negative thing also. Being hopeful for something positive will happen, it can breed inaction. So I will always say to my team, instead of being optimistic, be realistic, and balance it out. It's some amount of optimism is very important in our life also. Being positive, not COVID positive, but in general sense, positivity is good. It boosts your immune system, and it gives you some encouragement to do things. But at the same time, don't go in a negative direction, and don't be pessimist. Instead of that, being optimist and realist at the same time. Realist means assessing the situation and ascertaining what works for you or what doesn't work for you. Maybe you want maybe 1 million or whatever it is, maybe your goal is. You have to divide it into certain steps. So you cannot directly go to, because you have to be realist. You have to you know yourself, you know your potential. So according to that, you have to go about life. So that for me is realism, and part of it is optimism also. So realism can be a bigger bracket in which my team can work and have that optimistic and a positive attitude towards work. Because if you are not motivated, if you are not interested, no, and nothing will feel interesting for you also. So keep your interests high, keep yourself motivated, for do things with passion, or don't do it at all. Over to you, table topic master.
Thanks a lot. All right. Next, Vamsi, would you be interested in speaking next?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, Vamsi, question for you.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to change your reality, what would you change, and how? What would you change about your reality?
Reality. Yeah, that's a good question actually. Reality. If I had a chance to change my reality, first I'll do my I do my dream job. Means I'll just get my dream job, and not only that, I'll just I'll just try to pass every subject in engineering in given time in semesters, in each and every semester in engineering. Okay, and not only that, at friends, I go out with my friends. With friends, no, in engineering, I try to enjoy a lot and know things a lot, and know better things actually. Yeah.
Thank you. Next, Eric, would you like to speak next?
Yes.
Oh, there is an echo.
Can either move out to the other device or stop the speaker for one of them. Yeah, good now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, the topic for you is, if you had superpowers, what are few things or a thing that you would like to change about the world?
Wow. If I have superpowers, I would try to. I would want to have like a super negotiation power. So so that way be able to change the way that the justice is implemented all around the world, and that way to be more equipped, that it could be the justice could be implemented the same way to everyone, because at the end of the day you can notice that in the different countries there are good laws and there are laws for many things, but the problem is the implementation of the laws. So at the end, you see that for some people, for some institutions, or for some countries, the laws might apply, but for other ones, it wouldn't. So if I would have superpowers, it would be like super negotiation powers and influence over people and institutions.
Thanks, Eric. Who wants to go next? Neelam?
Yes.
Are you ready for next? Okay. Okay, the topic for you is, how would you change your reality to make it as exciting as the fantasy realm?
As a fantasy, I probably would work, like I would probably have my own avatar and be in the metaverse. And then the reality, I would change it as I'm able to, demand and manifest on demand. I'm able to see, hear things, have superpowers, able to fly, able to do supernatural things. The reality, as I see it, it's a limitless way to help others and also have limitless funds and income, traveling and experiencing different cultures and adventures. Also being able to learn as many skills as I can and having time, just endless time, being in my favor, being able to deport back in time and do something like Back to the Future. So just having all these superpowers and gifts, I think would be amazing. It would be a great help to society and also like for me. And I'd be able to like fulfill some of my fantasies and dreams and probably be living life epically.
Nice, good thought there, Neelam. Thank you. Okay, so we had an exciting series of table topics here. I think it's time for evaluation. Thanks, everyone. So back to Toastmasters of the day, Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Neha, for an exciting TT session. It's time to go and have our supper or breakfast. And let's start with our speech evaluations. Our first speech evaluator is Toastmaster Naveen Srinivasa, who happens to be.
See, I wanted you to see it so you can see what I made, right? You see how it look, right?
Who happens to in Iridakan District 92, and he is a passionate Toastmaster and a passionate software engineer working now for SNP. Let me invite Toastmaster Naveen to evaluate Toastmaster Tejas' speech. Naveen, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghu. And hello all. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the speaker for taking the very first step into public speaking, giving the icebreaker speech. A big round of applause for the speaker. Toastmaster Tejas, I see a great motivational speaker in you. So that is what I'd like to start with. You're on the right track in becoming one of the best motivational speakers around. Starting with how you have a wonderful content and how you deliver it with passion. So that is very important, and to establish that credibility when you speak. So these are things that make a person a good motivational speaker, and you are there. Starting off with how you start your speech. The very first few seconds are really important in getting the audience's attention. And the way you started your speech was very dramatic. You started by enacting your friends making fun of you and how things were not very encouraging when you grew up, and then how you found your encouragement and how you found your ladder. So I definitely would applaud your way of writing your script in such a way that it adds on with a suspense. So that was very well done. Moving on, what I really loved about your script is also on the way you were driving home the point that, hey, there's a ladder in front of you and you can climb it. And you wonderfully, craftily added this sentence at different parts in your speech so that you were again coming back to the central point. This is a very expert level of writing a script, and you have done it in your very first speech, which is great. So kudos to you. Followed by which we also, as the purpose of the speech, we got to know more about you. We know that you are a person who's into fitness, who loves nutrition and biomechanics, and you are currently a physical trainer as well as a weightlifter. So we got to know a lot about you in this speech, which is also great. You are also a person who's very confident. I can see that you have a great deal of stage presence, and that is very important for a speaker. You have that as well. You were very confident. Your body language was good. You were able to hear what you were saying, and also you had very good eye contact. So on the content, on the delivery, great job. Now, any speaker needs a few points of improvement to make the speech better. So in my personal opinion, I feel that the first thing on the content part, we got to know a lot about one side of you, which is who is a physical trainer, who's into nutrition and weightlifting. But if you could have spoken more about where you grew up from, about your family and about your current life, and what is your goal in the future. So you focused on one aspect. On this, if you could have also spoken about, we would have known more about you as a person. That is on the content part. On the delivery, I think that when you speak, it would be better if you enunciate few words better, right? So that we'll be able to understand each and every word that you speak. Sometimes the rate of speech was too high that we lost a few words in between. So that is something that I also felt personally. Other than that, you had a wonderful screen presence, a great body language and content. With these few changes or tweaks, I'm sure that you'll become a great speaker. Looking forward to your future speeches. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Very much a motivational speaker and a motivational evaluator. What a good combination. Next speech was by DTM Adhikar, and the evaluator is Toastmaster Kalpana. Kalpana, go on.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Dear Editor, before I go ahead with your speech evaluation, I would like to first appreciate your efforts and appreciate that you are a woman entrepreneur, because I know as an employee, we will have limited timelines to support for our job, and being a woman entrepreneur takes a lot of efforts and time, energy to build, establish the demanding challenges around work. So before anything, I appreciate you there. Coming to your speech, I really like the way you have presented yourself. You know that your audio piece was having some issue and we are able to listen to it only when you are holding it. I appreciate your effort in holding it throughout the speech and ensuring that while you are holding your mouthpiece, you were also using your other hand to show up all the hand gestures that were needed to your speech. This shows that you are very much present and conscious about the speech. You have shared 3 life lessons with us. I'm sure most of the life lessons have inspired the audience. Thanks for sharing that. As an entrepreneurship, you have started with your lessons, how you have started learning, at what age you started very early. All your life sharing experiences have followed a pattern where you have given the lesson and then the story behind that. So you have well maintained the structure of that speech. Now coming to the areas of improvement, you have chosen narrative or conversational styles for some of the parts of your speech. I would recommend you to use any one style because that will be more impactful. Either be narrative and tell about the story, or be conversational and act the story. This will help us to understand the story in a better format. I also would recommend you to add 1 or 2 questions with audience, because this speech especially had a scope wherein you can connect with audience very well as you are going to give them some lessons. 3, I would like to ask you to add some pauses. Adding some pauses will help audience to grab the data that you are going to give to us. Otherwise, it sometimes becomes very difficult for us to take all the content at once. Further, I would like to challenge you to add more vocal variations to your speech to make your speech completely effective. And with this, I would like to wish you all the best for your upcoming speeches. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Timer, Aishi, can you please let us know how we did on the timing part in each section?
Yeah. So do I need to tell the timing?
Yeah, but the speakers and the table
Yeah.
topics and evaluators. Yeah.
So here goes the timing report. Speaker 1, Tejas, your time taken was 7 minutes and 39 seconds. And speaker 2, DT Metker, your time was 7 minutes and 10 seconds. And there goes evaluator 1, Team Navin, your time was 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And evaluator 2, Team Kalpana, you was 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And coming to the table topics, Kalpana 1 minute and 30 seconds. Team Umar 2 minutes. Team Amsi 1 minute and 13 seconds. Team Eric, it is 1 minute and 32 seconds. And Team Neelam, it's 1 minute and 21 seconds.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aishi. The pinch of realism. You need to understand the importance of certain things in life. How to balance both the pessimism and the optimism in life to ensure that we succeed. Unless you are optimistic enough to take the opportunity and jump into the situation, leap, you will never succeed as an entrepreneur. Unless you are pessimistic about certain things in the journey, and then take all the necessary steps to inquire about those. Maybe somebody as a customer or somebody who is joining as a partner, you might be having a knife in your bed. If you don't do that, and then you will lose a lot. So it is necessary to balance both and be realistic so that you can succeed in your life better. It is also with your partner as well. It's true, because for the life partner, you're going to share your entire life. So this is necessary even in the choice of your life partner. Just maintain that, be realistic and be successful. I wish you all the best. With that note, let me take some feedback from our guests today who have joined from different parts of the world and taken time, even though it is late night for them. Luzena, how was the meeting today?
Hi, yes, it's currently 10:21 p.m. in my area, but I must say it was worth the wait or lateness because I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. You know, 1 or 2 things was slightly different than what I'm used to, but I take it as a great asset, and I probably would incorporate that in my own club meetings. So there were a lot of learning opportunities, and the speakers was excellent. I mean, for icebreaker, Taja, you did very well. I'm like, wow, you sound like proficient speaker already. So, I mean, you guys are awesome, and I will definitely be back.
Sure, Luzana. Thank you very much for that encouraging feedback. Vamshi, how was the meeting today? Vamshi, or rather Kondinya. Are you able to hear me? No problem, we'll wait. Dr. Neelam Shah, I think you joined in the table topic section, but for the part that you attend today, how was the meeting?
Yeah, I've joined a few when Jay Mo was here too, and yeah, you guys have always been so interpersonal, like no pun intended, and always some great takeaways and learning some great things from the topics and all that. Very warm group. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Neelam. Eva, which part of the world you're joining today? I know that you joined late, just at the end of table topic session. Can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit how did you find the meetings, especially evaluation part? No problem.
Oh, hello. Did you say Eva?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hi. Good night. Good night, all. Yes, I'm Eva Bain. I'm in Abaco, Bahamas. I was invited by Luzna. She is my president. Yeah, for Toastmasters in Abaco. She's I enjoyed I got caught in the evaluation section. Yes, but I enjoyed it very much. Yes, it was very, very nice. So I hope I can get in earlier next time and sing the second get a part of that good meeting that Luzna is talking about. And so I'll probably get the link much earlier from her so that I can join next time. But thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now that you're registered, I will send the meeting invite so that you can join early from next meeting.
Thank you.
With that note, let me invite the presiding. Let me invite the presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Neha. Take the proceeding further and also fill the roles for the next meeting.
Yeah. Thanks, Raghu. I feel today we had a very exciting meeting, and we followed the theme and even the work.
What?
All right. So for the coming week, we need to fill the roles. I'm thinking I will give a speech. So someone needs to evaluate my speech. And can we have a raise of the hand for another speech? Can someone volunteer to give a speech? Because ideally we need 2 speeches in every session. Anyone?